Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. So Solana shows some upside momentum today. Not necessarily surprising given that we've seen a 5-wave pattern to the upside from the, was it the Sunday low? Sunday or Monday low. And that we've seen a corrective pullback yesterday. So we're going to zoom in and take a look. Looking at the bigger picture just briefly, the idea is currently that we are working on a 4th wave. That 4th wave can basically unfold in a couple of ways. Well, different scenarios are possible, but I'm tracking the two most likely ones. The most likely one, or it's not necessarily the most likely one, but it's the one that works for us right now for various reasons, and it is the triangle pattern. And in this triangle pattern, I'm tracking an A wave down, a B wave up, which topped in end of May, a C wave down, which might have bottomed. The downside wave count was full. That's the C wave, and then a D wave is possibly unfolding right now, and then another E wave down, forming a higher low before we break out to the upside. I mean, this is not typically the most likely pattern, and I can promise you triangles tend to change. So this is likely going to morph and transform. However, I believe the forecast over the recent weeks probably generated a few profitable trades for some of you who've been trading this, given that the idea was for the price to come down into this region around $133, maybe a little bit lower. It did that, and then to attempt a reversal there, it did that. And then I gave you that trend line, which is now broken. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But I cannot promise that we won't, that this won't change. It will change. Prices are dynamic and charts are dynamic, especially triangle patterns where you're dealing with back-to-back corrective price action. But if this really is a triangle and we fill in all the 5 waves, A, B, C, D, E, then an upside breakout should happen. The invalidation point of the triangle remains at $119. A break below $119 will indicate that a larger 4th wave is unfolding. Well, not necessarily larger, but the wave 4 will likely then go a little bit lower in a larger ABC structure though. And this is a flat correction. So instead of having A, B, C, D, E, we're only going to deal with an A, B, C structure, and the C wave goes a bit lower. Next target then $108 roughly, yeah? And then the correction could be complete without that DE. But because we are, this decline also looked corrective, I'm leaning to the idea of a of an ABCDE triangle, but we'll see. The idea was then that down here we were watching for an impulsive reversal happened. Actually an impulse. I mentioned that already a couple of days ago. And then here an ABC correction. I mean, this is possible that this is now over this B wave, yeah? It would have been, however, a very, very shallow B wave. Possible though. It's a small wave degree. You see lots of distortions. B waves essentially do what they want. So it wouldn't necessarily be a surprise if it shoots up from here. Support, oops, 1 second. So the support area did hold. And if you look at the internal structure of this decline, from the Tuesday top, it involves an overshooting B wave, which means that the C wave doesn't need to go much below the A wave. So in fact, it doesn't even need to go below the A wave, but it reached easily the 100% extension, which is normally one of these typical minimum requirements for a C wave, and it actually reached the perfect target area for a C wave. So the only question is now, this is a completed ABC structure, or we should rather call it actually WXY, the way this looks. So you could say WXY. So it might be complete, right? Okay, how do we determine that? Well, I mean, there are a few conditions. First of all, obviously, it would be great if this intraday low is holding. So a stop would need to be below that level. If you're trading just for this, that's $135.20 pretty much. Now, does that mean the low has to be in? No, I mean, it could easily, this could be the A wave of a larger ABC. I mean, that's possible. And that is especially possible because the pullback was shallow. It was rather shallow. But I'd argue that the break above the trend line makes it more likely that we're already in the breakout. You should definitely, though, be on the side of caution here and still consider that we might test that lower support area again. Not expected until we break below the intraday low, however. That's the update about Solana. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.